What's up, guys? Today I'm going to talk about one of my favorite models when it comes to inversion, and it's the inversion breaker. Okay, you guys don't need anything else than that, to be honest, when it comes to inversion, because you can locate buyers and sellers in the marketplace only by looking at the 1 minute chart. Okay, so here in this range, okay, we pushed up and got super close to this high. Okay, and what will happen when you go super close to a high is that people will start selling the double top. Okay, people will start selling double top. The money will start selling the double top. So what will happen is that most of the time you will drop to 50% of that range or to a bullish for value gap, and then draw back up and take out the high, because market is driven by liquidity, and since there's a lot of liquidity close to this high, market will draw back towards these highs. Okay, it will most likely not create those equal highs and then create a whole new low right there. So what I like to do is wait for us, either there's two confirmations. It's either for me to disrespect the last gap in the whole range. Okay, so for example here, it's really a weird range because we have low resistance liquidity. But the basics of this is, if you go super close to a high, okay, let's say this is your high, and then you go super close to a high, what you want to do is always try to target this high. Okay, you don't want to enter too quick, but you want to wait for that retracement to those bullish for value gaps, wait for them to hold, and once you inverse this gap here, this is when you will try to enter longs towards those equal highs. Okay, this is basically how you should play it, and this is how I played that during that day on Wednesday. So right here, what I see here for me is I see these equal highs. Okay, equal highs, relatively equal highs on the 1 minute. Even if it's two candlestick, it holds a lot of power. So right there, we went and draw super close to this high here and created equal highs. Also on the 1 hour, look at this, also aligning with the 1 hour sweep of the previous candle's low into a 1 hour for value gap, and then a bullish closure. So right here, I knew I had totally a bullish bias. Okay, you can use your H1 draw for that for sure, and I suggest you guys do this. So right here, I know that for a fact that if we pull back and hold these for value gaps right here and inverse this gap, I will be a long, I will be inside longs to target those internal equal highs and internal high here. Okay, so right there, what do I want? Okay, I want to locate buyers and sellers. So for me, for value gaps are aggressive sellers or aggressive buyers in the marketplace. So right there, you see that when we went close to this high, we started displacing down super heavily. Okay, and we created a fair value gap. So right here, when we created this fair value gap, I know that most of these sellers are located right here at 987.5. okay, and if most of these sellers are located right there, I know that when we're going to close above this level, they are going to cover the position, so they are going to be scared, are going to be shitting their pants. So as soon as price will come back to their break-even spot, boom, and it will skyrocket to the TP, to the high. Okay, so right there, what you want to see, you want to see this fair value gap get inversed, but you also want to see a new low get formed right there. Okay, you want to see internal low sweep like this. Why? Because you will have a creation of that order block right there. Okay, once that order block gets created, this is an extra confirmation that tells you that, okay, you went and filled those gaps. Okay, so you have an internal sweep. Okay, this is your first confirmation, an internal sweep. Then you hold bullish PD arrays. Okay, so you're bullish, and then what you want to see is this bearish order block get disrespected and this bearish fair value gap get disrespected. So what does that tell you? It tells you that we are absolutely in a bullish order flow. If you're disrespecting bearish order blocks and bearish fair value gaps, and bearish order blocks turn into bullish breakers, and bearish fair value gaps turn into bullish inversions, then you know that the chances of you hitting this internal high, if you can align it with a little bit of a higher time frame bias or equal highs, it is such an easy scalp to find. Okay, so right there, I am looking for a new low to get put in. Okay, boom, us to hold those gaps right here, close above this breaker, and then boom, target the high. Okay, so let me see right there. What happened is that we displaced down 959 during a macro, super nice, swept this internal low, created that order block. Then I know that if we can get above this level right here, this whole order block, bearish order block, and this bearish fair value gap, I know that these sellers will not be in control. The buyers will be in control. Okay, so right here, only with this structure, I can see what is this, a bearish candle. Okay, what does that tell me? It tells me that the price opened right here and closed right there. So that means that sellers started to push price down. Okay, and couldn't get price below this this low here on the next candle here. Okay, because I needed to print this candle to explain. So right there, sellers tried to push price down to this exact same level, but couldn't, were not able to push price down to create a new low. Okay, so what happened here was that buyers overpowered them. So I have an extra confirmation that sellers also try to step in here. So I have not even those, I not only have these sellers, okay, which is this order block. Okay, let me go one by one. Okay, I have this bearish order block that got turned into a breaker. Okay, let's use a yellow. Okay, bearish order block here. If the market is bearish, it should hold this area to create a new low. But right there, what happened is that we disrespected this bearish order block, closed above its high. So I know for a fact that we are running in a bullish order flow. Okay, we disrespected this gap at this bearish order block. Then what do I have here? I have a bearish fair value gap. What does that tell me? It tells me that we have aggressive selling happen here. Okay, and if we have aggressive selling that happened here, I know that if we close above this gap, the aggressive sellers are going to be in some dog shit. So they are going to try to cover the position when they have the chance to. So once they can have their position to break even, they will click on buy because they click sell. So that will skyrocket the price up even more. Okay, so right here, the third one. So here is your breaker. Here's your inversion. Here, you would consider this as being a sweep now. Why? Because you closed above. You closed above the breaker, the bearish order block. So now this acts as a sweep. Then you hold this fair value gap. Okay, so right now you have bearish order block turned into a bullish breaker. You have an internal sweep. You have the price getting held by a bullish PD array. You have the inversion right here, which is 4, and then you also have this right here, this candle right here that tried to push price down. It tells me what this is, an order block. Okay, why? Because I can see that price, that these sellers tried to step in again in this exact same area, but we broke structure to the upside. So basically what happened was this. Okay, something like this, and then these sellers try to push price down here. So right here, okay, if this if we were truly bearish, we would have break that low. Okay, break another low. But what happened is that these sellers right there that tried to push price down got overpowered by those buyers, so we created an order block. Okay, this is a break of structure on the lower time frame, and this zone also acts as support. So right there, I have an extra confirmation. This is the most A+ setup you can have in when it comes to inversion. It is called the inversion breaker order block. Okay, so you have 5 confirmations that your internal high will get swept. So right here, this is exactly when you click on buy. You don't want to miss out on that trade. For me, I went long exactly in this scenario when we started trading above this inversion. Okay, with my stops below the order block right there, which is pretty safe, and I have my 1-to-1 being this high. And then went and picked us up right there on the fair value gap. Also have this fair value gap between 10 to 11. Imagine this trade was just magnificent. Okay, this is such a good trade when it comes to inversion. A+, and these are the type of setups that I will go heavier on. Okay, right now I don't really go heavy on stream, but like in few months I will start going heavy on those type of trades when the market condition will let me know that inversion is the way to go. Okay, right here also we had another setup that is absolutely the same. Okay, why? Right there, look at this. Okay, so here, okay, we have a sweep of an internal low. Okay, sweep of an internal low into a fair value gap. So what is the last liquidity pool that we swept? It is sell side, so we are bullish. Okay, then we're asking ourselves, what are we respecting here? Okay, right there we're pulling back to that bullish fair value gap. Okay, are we going to respect that bullish fair value gap right there? We don't know yet. Okay, but what are the cues that will tell us that we are in a bullish order flow? Is this order block right there? Okay, right there, this order block right there will tell us that if we are in a bearish order flow, this order block should hold in order to create a new low. But right there, if it does not hold and we close above it, okay, this is an area where price will act as support. Okay, here we have an inversion, so we can locate where buyers and sellers are in the marketplace. Okay, so we see that we have a fair value gap right there, aggressive selling. Okay, we see that we have aggressive selling, so I can locate where will my aggressive selling start to panic. My aggressive sellers will start to panic and shit their pants and start to cover the position. Okay, and it is 19986.25. okay, then here what I'm waiting for is for us to disrespect this bearish order block, disrespect this bearish fair value gap, and create that bullish breaker, bullish inversion, then pull back to snipe this internal high. Okay, and you can see this is a big range. Okay, and we are going, and this is called my ping pong model. Okay, but we tapped in a bearish fair value gap. Okay, here we're delivering from a bearish fair value gap, and we created a bearish fair value gap. So if we are truly bearish, this fair value gap should hold. Okay, this should hold. But in this scenario, this is exactly what I'm looking for. I don't try to short fair value gaps or long fair value gaps. I try to wait for them to get disrespected when it comes to inversion. Wait for them to get disrespected, so I have an extra confirmation that buyers and sellers, that I have the confirmation who's in control. Okay, of who's in control. So right here, that big displacement candle closed above this fair value gap, so I had 100% certainty that we were going to sweep this internal high. So right there, I put my stop below the body of this candle right here. I knew I had an internal sweep. I have a bearish order block that turned into a bullish breaker. I have this bearish fair value gap that turned into a bullish inversion. Right there, get picked up right here. Sorry, I did not. So right here, you get picked up right here. Boom. You also created a fair value gap here that can act as support again, so you have an extra confirmation right there. So it should take literally 1 or 2 minutes for you to get your TP hit, okay, for a nice quick 1-to-1 risk reward. And this is the ping pong, but this is basically the same thing as my inversion breaker. This is the most effective internal model that you can ever have, okay, when you don't even look at the 15-minute closures or the 5-minute closures, 30-minute, 1 hour. You don't need the draw on liquidity on the higher time frame to play this model. This is basically trying to locate the buyers and sellers only by understanding structure. What is an order block? What is a breaker block? What is displacement? What is a fair value gap? Who's in control here? Okay, it is pretty easy to understand when you ask yourself those questions that I had for you guys in the first video in my inversion series. Okay, so this is the only thing you need. Okay, but here, okay, let's say we have this exact same pattern, but we don't have a sweep, so we don't have that breaker. It will be a B setup. It will be a B plus setup. Why? Because you only have that order block that can hold. Okay, when you have that breaker, you have an extra confirmation. You can locate those buyers and sellers better in the marketplace. So with all the models that I showed you guys, you shouldn't be trading something else when it comes to inversion than the inversion breaker or the singular leg sweep. Okay, so hope it was a great video for you guys. Hope I made you guys understand some concepts in the internal side of trading, because most people don't understand what is an order block. What does that mean? Okay, but it really means buyers and sellers, and I really understood that by trading with the tape. Okay, the order flow, and I quickly understood that I did not need anything related to order flow. I just needed to understand what a bearish candle was, what a bullish candle was, and understand highs and lows and fair value gaps, and that's it. This is the only thing you need. So see you guys in the next video. Peace out.